We're standing right on the edge of a massive shift in how we build software. Seriously. Imagine this. Instead of typing out line after line of precise code, you could just have a conversation and build an app. Well, this new way of thinking has a name. It's called vibe coding.
I mean, really think about that for a second. You've got this killer idea for an app or a new website, but instead of getting totally bogged down in all the syntax and frameworks, what if you could just talk it into existence? That future, it's getting a whole lot closer than you might think.
So, what exactly is vibe coding? Honestly, the best way to picture it is like having this super smart AI coding buddy right there with you. You're the visionary, the director. You just describe what you want in plain English. Hey, I need a user dashboard, or let's build a recipe app. And your AI partner? It does all the heavy lifting, turning your words into actual working code.
And look, this isn't just some random buzzword somebody made up. The term was actually coined by AI researcher Andrej Karpathy to describe this whole new way of creating things. And here's the key part. It's all about bridging that huge gap between having an idea and actually implementing it. The whole point is to lower the barrier to entry, so anyone with a great idea can build something cool, not just seasoned programmers.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. This whole approach isn't just one single thing. As it develops, it's actually splitting into two totally different paths, two different philosophies of building. So the real question becomes, which path are you going to take?
Let's start with the really wild vision, the one that's perfectly summed up in Karpathy's own words, forgetting that the code even exists. Whoa, this is all about pure speed, pure vision, and just completely trusting the AI to handle all the nitty-gritty details under the hood.
And that brings us to these two very distinct paths. On one side, you've got what we can call pure vibe coding. This is the classic move fast and break things mentality. You trust the AI 100% and just focus on the end result. It's absolutely perfect for whipping up a prototype over a weekend. But on the other side, you've got responsible AI-assisted development. Here, the AI is more like your co-pilot, not the one flying the plane solo. It generates the code, sure, but you review it, you test it, and ultimately you own it. And that's the real tension, right? Do you go for raw speed to see if an idea has legs, or do you choose that meticulous quality you need for a professional, rock-solid application?
All right, so we get the what and the why, but let's talk about the how. How does this conversational coding thing actually function? Let's peel back the curtain and take a look at the mechanics of it all. It all starts at the micro level with something called the code level loop. So let's say we're building that simple task manager. You start with one tiny feature, create a button to add a new task. The AI spits out the code. You run it and you see the button, but it's green. So your feedback is simple, conversational. Nope, wrong color. Make it our brand blue, hex code, hashtag 005A9C. And you just keep going in that tight little loop of describing, observing, and refining until that one little feature is absolutely perfect.
Okay, so now let's zoom out from that one little blue button to our entire Task Manager app. The whole lifecycle kicks off with your big picture idea. Build a simple app to track daily tasks. Boom! The AI scaffolds out everything. The user interface, the backend logic, the database, the whole shebang. From there, you just start refining it, using that same micro loop we just talked about. Okay, now add a way to mark tasks as complete. Right, let's add due dates. And you just keep having that conversation, building feature by feature until you're ready to test it out and finally deploy your creation to the world, maybe with just a single click.
So, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But to really get a handle on how big of a deal this is, let's put vibe coding right up against traditional development. This comparison really drives home the scale of this change. Okay, let's just break this down. Traditionally, creating code is manual, line by painful line. With vibe coding, it's AI-generated, and that changes everything about your role. You're no longer just the person implementing the code, you become the prompter, the guide, the tester. The expertise you need shifts too. It's less about knowing every single bit of syntax and more about being able to clearly explain what you want the app to do. It's a fundamental shift from writing code to directing the creation of code.
So when you put all of this together, you have to ask the big question. What are the long-term implications here? What does this new world really mean for the future of building things?
If there's just one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. The job itself is evolving. The focus is shifting away from the really painstaking work of crafting every single line of code. Instead, it's moving towards high-level direction, creative problem-solving, and having a vision. Your real value is in your ideas and your ability to guide the AI to bring those ideas to life.
And that leads us to one last really powerful thought. As these tools get easier to use and that barrier to creation gets lower and lower, the power to build is being put in everyone's hands. The question isn't going to be if you can build it anymore, it's going to be what you'll build. So if all the technical hurdles were just gone, what amazing things would you create?